What's up everybody, Ryan here. Got a compressor and TXV replacement for you today. Should be a nice job. I got this Lennox unit here. Apparently on a service call, one of our techs found that one of the compressors isn't pumping. So he wrote up compressor TXV, and that's what I'm here to do. Looks like a newer Lennox. In fact, I think I was here before once in the winter working on that unit right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the refrigerant recovered, and we're gonna get this compressor out. 6 pounds, 13 ounces. So let me go ahead and open everything up and get to work. All right guys, I'm hooked up to first stage compressor. That's the one we're gonna be replacing. I'm gonna get my recovery machine hooked up. We're gonna get this refrigerant out of here. Recovering the refrigerant now. We're gonna let that thing work while I investigate this TXV and see what we got to do to get in here and replace it. Doesn't look too bad. Hopefully I don't have to remove this panel because I got this beast of a gas line here. Triple drip leg, huh? Interesting. Now I think I'll be good. I can get on it right here. So get this zip tie cut off, pull this out of the way a little bit, and I should be able to sweat that right out. I'm gonna have to sweat it because I don't have much to cut. Normally I cut these out, but they got it so close in here, so I'll sweat it out. We'll run nitrogen through it while I do so. And we're pulling the refrigerant out fairly quickly, so once I get that out and get to brazing, I'll bring you back. Should be in good shape. All right guys, we're just about there. I've got 7 pounds left. Gonna let that run. I got the crankcase heater disconnected, all the wires pulled off. I went ahead and got inside of here. I got the sensing bulb disconnected from the suction line. I've got, you know, wire ties clipped and wires pulled out of the way so I can get in here and take care of this here. We're well on our way to getting this compressor out. I have 5 pounds left in the system, so nice and cool today. I think we're at like 68 degrees, so I'll take that. I went ahead and I pushed the compressor slightly back. That way I've got natural pressure on the suction line and the discharge line, and hopefully when I unsweat them, they pop right out. All right guys, we're at 0. And shut all this off. I'm gonna get this equipment disconnected, moved out of the way. We got the new apprentice John with us so he can start hauling this stuff back to the edge of the roof. So I've got my little nitrogen flow tool from Diversitech hooked up, just slight pressure running through the system. I hooked up right here. I've got the Schrader cores pulled out, but you can hear I'm letting it build up a little bit of pressure. So we've got nitrogen flowing. It's going to displace that oxygen, and we're not going to oxidize on the inside of the pipe. So let me shut this off for now, and then right before I braze, I'll kick it back on. Let me get my torches set up and we'll pop these out. All right guys, I got everything all unhooked here. I'm gonna let that cool off, and I'm gonna flow nitrogen this way. Not sure if it's gonna go that way or this way, but at least we'll have nitrogen flowing. That way I can unsweat it here and here. Just remove this whole piece, and I'll get a new piece of 3/8 there for in the middle. All right guys, nitrogen's flowing. I got everything pulled down right where I like it. I'm gonna heat this up and just tap this, and it should pop right out. And then I'll get a pair of channel locks on this, and we'll unsweat that and get all set up to braze the new one in. right, I'm all unhooked. Went pretty well. I'm gonna let everything cool off. I'm gonna fit everything up. In the meantime, I'm gonna get this compressor out of here, get that put back in place, get all set up, and braze everything back into place. I got the new feet put in this one, so I'm gonna go ahead and get it pushed back into place, and then we'll get the pipe shoved in, we'll get the TXV and filter dryer put in place so we can just boom, 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 weld everything in, one right after the other. All right, guys, I got everything fit together here. I'm using an actual wet rag today. I can't find my tub of wet rag. It was getting pretty crusty and it probably got thrown out, so I got a wet rag here. We're gonna be quick and concise. I'm gonna start here. I'm just gonna keep the nitrogen connected in here for now. I'll get the compressor brazed in, and we should be in good shape. Alright guys, everything looks pretty good so far. I'm just cooling it down. Everything went pretty well. Having this wet rag on here really kind of slows down the process, but all in all it went pretty good. I think we did well on this one. I'm going to set the camera down. I'm going to inspect it with my mirror now that I've got the rag off of it and it's cooled down a little bit. So let me do that and then we'll move over to this compressor. I'm happy with that. Everything looks good. That lower joint was kind of getting screwed up by the wet rag, so I kind of moved it so I could get my weld in, and then I cooled it right down, but I think we're gonna be okay. So I've got the nitrogen still continuing to flow, and I'm just gonna bust these two out real quick. All right, I think that's gonna do it. Got all my welds done. I'm gonna let everything cool off, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pressure test this, and I think we're gonna be in good shape. Yep. All right, guys, we're at 428 pounds. This one dropped down a hair. I soap tested everything, and it's all no bubbles showing, so I'm gonna leave this here. I'm gonna go change my vacuum pump oil. I'm gonna grab a couple other things. I'm gonna do the tightness test on this, and if we're good when we get back, we'll vacuum down. All right, guys, we are holding strong. 430. This one's at 429.9. I bumped it up to a round number before I left. It's been on for 29 minutes, 44 seconds. I got John bringing up the vacuum pump with fresh oil in it. I think we're good. All my Joints have been soap tested. It's not leaking. And there we are, 30 minutes. I'm calling it good. Let's hit enter to stop. I got my wireless clamps all hooked up. I took a little time today to figure out this menu, and I got these all attached. I'm pretty excited about that. I was getting tired of those corded clamps. So I bought the field piece test and charging kit from TruTech Tools. I've used it a few times. It's pretty nice, but I really wanted to buy the wireless clamps for my manifold there. So I figured, well, if I'm gonna pay all that money for just 2 clamps, I might as well just bite the bullet and buy the whole damn set. But I'm looking forward to using that tool. But yeah, we're good. We're holding at 430 pounds. I've already got the Schrader cores out here, so and we'll get everything hooked up, pull a vacuum, charge this unit up and run it. All right, guys, I got the Appion vacuum hoses hooked up to my valve core remover tools. I got the CPS micron gauge right there on the tool. I've got the Elitech intelligent vacuum pump all hooked up, fresh oil. I got the Appion Speedwire on there so I can connect both my hose, because this vacuum pump only comes with a 1/4 inch connection, even though it says it's a 12 CFN pump. It is what it is. I'm all set to go, so I'm gonna go ahead and kick it on. While it's vacuuming, I'm gonna mount the sensing bulb for the TXV. I'm gonna zip tie everything back up. I'm gonna get a compressor all wired back up, and I'm gonna get the low voltage control wire back on the contactor. Let me go ahead and press start. There we go. One thing I do like about this Elitech vacuum pump is where you fill the oil. You got a nice big hole there, so you can fill it up without spilling oil all over the place. All right, we got numbers. Let this thing run for a bit. I'm gonna start wiring everything up, get all that stuff I mentioned earlier taken care of. That way when we reach vacuum, we can charge it right up and go from there. All right, guys, I also went ahead and hooked up my suction hose to the other valve core remover tool. That way I could have this hose vacuumed out. All I gotta do is purge refrigerant to my manifold, and I won't have to worry about introducing moisture into the system when I'm going to connect everything up. All right, guys, we're down under 10,000. It's literally been another minute later. I've got my blue hose here, all vacuumed down, holding about 400 microns, so I'm happy with that. Let me get my refrigerant hooked up. We're gonna charge this up. I've got my refrigerant bled out to my manifold. Zero that. We're good to go. 6 pounds, 13 ounces. Hopefully I can get it all in one shot. So let me make sure we're good. Everything looks good. And here we go. I'll just let it take as much as it can get. Then we'll add the rest after we get the Schrader cores in and get the unit running. But hopefully I can just get it all in. All right, guys, we're at 5 pounds and some ounces. Let's see if I can get all 6 pounds, 13 ounces in, which I don't think is going to be an issue. We'll get all my hoses disconnected, get the Schrader cores back in, and cycle this unit. I'm going to add a couple extra ounces just for the hoses. 13, 14, 15, and that's 7 pounds. Should be good. 3 extra ounces. I don't think it's going to hurt anything. So let me go ahead and get everything disconnected here. We'll get these Schrader cores back in. All right, guys, she just kicked on. Blower's running. Condenser fan motors are running. It's always a good sign, huh? I got my temperature clamp reconnected. Not sure what happened there, but we've been running about a couple of minutes here. Got a 11 degrees of subcooling, 42 degree saturation temperature. Suction line's good and cold. Everything appears to be operating properly. I'm gonna let this thing run while we start cleaning up some stuff here. And I'll let you know how everything ended up here after a bit. All right, guys, I got 53 degree supply air, 73 return, 20 degrees right on the money. I like it. Boy, those look nice with those wireless clamps on there. We'll see how, they don't feel like they're gonna fall off. I'm definitely gonna have to keep an eye on them, be careful, but yeah, very nice. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this one. Compressor TXV replacement on this Lennox rooftop unit. I appreciate you watching. If you liked the video, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell icon. That'll notify you anytime I got a new video coming out. Leave me a comment. Hit like. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next one.